All right, again, good afternoon. I am Will Glenn, Orange County Community Relations Director. I want to thank our media partners for chiming in and allowing us to share information about tropical depression Chantal. Um, we're gonna we're gonna pass it over to our Emergency Service Director, Kirby Saunders. He's going to give us a update of the current situation. Afterward, he'll take a few questions. I'm going to ask our media partners with questions to utilize the raise your hand feature so we can keep some decorum about ourselves during this media availability. All right. So with that, Kirby.
Good afternoon. I want to check, make sure you all can hear me all right. Good. All right.
Yes.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks again for coming here. I just wanted to provide an opportunity to give an update on where we stand currently in Orange County. As you know, it appears that Orange and Alamance took the brunt of tropical depression Chantal yesterday evening. To put it in context for us, the incident really started for us significantly around 7 p.m. From 7 p.m. to around 3 a.m., we fielded roughly 8,000 911 calls in that period of time. That is about 100 times more than our normal average. So a significant volume of 911 calls. The large majority of those were related to flooding in neighborhoods, vehicles trapped in floodwaters, people stranded in floodwaters, and or people having general concerns about their power or trees down. Um, our public safety partners executed, we're estimating right now, at least 60 plus swiftwater rescues in that same duration overnight from about 7 p.m. last night until about 8 p.m. this morning. We did conduct another swiftwater rescue after 8 a.m. this morning. Well, another motorist went into a flooded roadway. Fortunately, we have no reported fatalities in Orange County right now. I know there was a question about that. We do have one person that has been reported missing that we are actively searching for. We also have a couple of areas of interest that vehicles were submerged in that we're are researching those just to confirm no one was in those vehicles. That is in the Carborough area, and we have the missing person is in incidents in Cedar Grove area on Wilkerson Road. Um, all in all, right now we're setting pretty steady, fluctuating back and forth from power outages, or roughly from 10% to currently right now at 21% of the counties without power. That's about 15,500 customers. That's normal for an event like this, where we, as line crews, begin to make repairs. That fluctuations up and down of connections. We have about, as of this morning, we have about 89 to 90 people that are seeking shelter that were evacuated from flood-prone properties. That includes Camelot Village as a known area in Chapel Hill, the Weather Hill Point area in Carborough, and then various assorted other areas around the Chapel Hill area, and some in northern Orange County and central Orange County that were evacuated or rescued from their vehicles that needed shelter. Last night, we did activate a reception center at the Seymour Center in Chapel Hill. That's the Orange County Department on the Aging Center as a reception site. That was just a landing spot for people to get to when they were rescued. Overnight, we had about 3 people stay there, and they dispersed this morning. The large majority of that 89 or so individuals were sheltered in area hotel rooms. Given the power outages and the continued displacement of those who were impacted, their residents who were impacted by flood waters, we are activating the mass care shelter site today, or about 30 minutes ago, actually, about at 12 p.m. That's going to be at Smith Middle School. The address is 9201 Sewell School Road, and that's SEAWELL School Road in Chapel Hill. And again, those are for anyone that has been displaced or needs a place of safe shelter and refuge. That is being operated by our Department of Social Services, Orange County Animal Services, and various other partners like the American Red Cross and our emergency management team. And we will keep that shelter open and operational as long as it's necessary. In regards to the shelter, pets are welcome, but we do ask that they have to be housed in separate areas from their owners. So we will have a pet shelter area and a client area. They must bring their proof of full vaccination with their pets. If they can bring their vaccination records, a photo of the pet is required, and we can take one at the day at intake if we need to. And then a supply of your pet's food, particularly if they have unique food blends they need to eat. We have transportation assistance available as well. Orange County Public Transportation can provide transit, and that number to call if you need a ride is 919-245-2004. As of this morning, we've got about 17 roads remaining closed in Orange County due to flood damage. There are multiple reports of damage to roads, structures, and bridges. We know of at least 8 roads that are going to be impacted for a significant amount of time, days or weeks. We're working closely with the Department of Transportation to fully evaluate and assess all of those infrastructure damages. Our message still is the same. We encourage people to avoid traveling if it's not absolutely necessary. And if they do travel, just a reminder that we still have some roads that have water over them or have been damaged. And so we would encourage anybody, obviously, turn around, don't drown. If you see any water, standing water on the road or over a bridge, or if the road looks damaged or the bridge looks damaged, do not attempt to cross it. We have a method as well for residents to report a non-emergency damage. That is on the county's, on our Ready Orange page, a link there, as well as on our social media. So if there are residents want to make reports of damage that they see, whether it be road damages, trees down on their homes or in the neighborhoods, they can do that online. And we're working this afternoon to stand up a public information line as well for anyone who has questions going forward. I do want to just close now, highlight just the incredible work of our public safety partners and our community during the storm. We've already had a question about the warning cycle and do we have enough warning? We were originally forecasted to 1 to 3 inches yesterday from National Weather Service. We far exceeded that, obviously, and I don't think anybody anticipated that we would get the storm to stall on top of Orange and Alamance. But even despite that, we were able to issue, the National Weather Service issued plenty of flood warnings to our area. We believe we echoed those messages on our social media platforms, as well as intensive monitoring of high hazard dams in Orange County. We did issue a voluntary evacuation notice along with our partners in Alamance for the Lake Michael Dam late yesterday evening. That was at potential risk of failing. It did not fail ultimately, but we issued that as a protective measure to encourage people to seek higher ground. We also were closely monitoring Lake Orange Dam in Orange County, just north of Hillsborough. That Lake Orange Road bridge just below the dam did sustain catastrophic damage. We are aware that the Lake Orange community, about 20 homes, are isolated. They can't cross the bridge. And so we're in contact with those residents pretty frequently. Right now, they have no known needs. They can traverse out on foot and working closely with them to assess any long-term needs while DOT works to make, emergent repairs or temporary repairs. Again, just want to echo everyone, our appreciation for all the response partners. We've been closely coordinating throughout the last 24 hours with a variety of organizations within our community across all government sectors, the private nonprofit sector, as well as our non-governmental partners. It's been a team effort, and we're fortunate right now that we don't have any catastrophic loss of life to report. That's fortunate for us. And last but not least, we have declared a state of emergency in Orange County. That was done by Chair Bedford late yesterday evening when the impacts were starting to be realized. So that's a real high-level overview, probably very quick, but I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'll turn it back over to you, Will.
Thank you, Kirby. We'll open the floor now for our media partners with any questions you may have. I see Lucas Tomei. I may be saying your name wrong. Please forgive me.
Hey, all good. Good pronunciation. Lucas Tomei, Carolina Public Press. I apologize if I maybe missed this at the beginning, but do you have any figures in terms of the number of rescues carried out in Orange County over this past day or so?
That's a great question. We are estimating right now at least 60 plus. We haven't been had at the moment to get down and drill down to the exact number. Um, there were quite many occurring simultaneously, and our communication center was quite overwhelmed. So we'll dig through and get a final number. But right now, we're estimating at least 60 plus water rescues occurred over the last 24 hours in Orange County.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas.
I have a question. Was there any loss of life so far?
We have no confirmed fatalities from the storm at
Good.
this point in time.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Other questions? The floor is open.
Brighton has
Yes.
one in the chat.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brighton, and I see Dale as well. Go ahead, Brighton.
Yeah, right now I'm reading your question here, if that's all right. You mentioned a mass amount of 911 calls. Could you tell us more about those members of the emergency response and what the scene there was like last night? So I personally was not at the scenes myself. I was remote in the emergency operations center. Um, we do have some videos and pictures that we can share through Will and the community relations department to share out that our first responders have sent us today. But I will say, just an experience, I can imagine it was pretty harrowing. With response personnel trying to conduct a rescue, any water rescue is dangerous and inherently challenging in itself. Doing so in the dark, while the rain is coming down at such force that it was yesterday, is even more challenging. And so, again, we send strong applause and appreciation to our first response partners throughout all of Orange County. I don't know personally of a fire department in Orange County that did not respond to a water-related incident yesterday or last night. We also have reached out and gotten support from not just the fire departments, but our South Orange Rescue Squad team as well. We're active all night up until the sunrise this morning and beyond. We've called in external resources. Davie County Rescue Squad has just departed Orange County. We've got High Point Fire Department currently in Orange County assisting us. So we're bringing in not just local partners, but partners from around the state to assist us in these search and rescue efforts. But I can imagine the scene last night was very harrowing.
Hi, this is Destiny Patterson with WREL. My question is, knowing that this was so much worse than initially anticipated, how were you guys able to kick things into gear and be able to make so many rescues, given the last minute notice of the severity of these floodwaters?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. We don't always know where and when flooding will occur. We have a forecast provided by the National Weather Service, obviously. But our posture in Orange County is traditionally, anytime Orange County is on a tropical system, is within the cone of uncertainty, we lean forward and we activate our Emergency Operations Center. And we start coordinating with all of our response partners. That happened, really it happened on Friday, early Friday afternoon, as soon as the storm kind of formulated and we started seeing the projected path of the storm. We started coordinating and sending alerts, information to our partners to prepare them. Yesterday, we started physical or virtual in-person or virtual briefings, with our response partners. And that's our normal chain, our chain of events and how we prepare. And so, it's communication with our response partners, preparing them, giving them accurate information of what we know and what we don't know. Again, although we were anticipating much less rainfall, we were prepared for 1 to 3 inches. We were prepared for more. Our resources are always at the ready, 24/7. And this, again, our team did a great job of leaning forward, recognizing the threat that was being posed to Orange County and Central North Carolina, leaned forward and activated and had resources standing by. We always wish we would have, we always wish we have a magic ball to know how much rain is going to fall and how many rescues we'll need to do. If that were ever the case, we would have more than enough resources to meet the need. That is never the case, unfortunately. And our teams really go incident by incident, prioritization of greatest need first. And that's what they did yesterday and conducted those rescues swiftly, professionally, and I will say it without a lot of due regard for the own personal safety.
And just a clarifying question, the rescue numbers and displacement numbers that you provided at the beginning, those would be separate from the individual towns like Chapel Hill, for example?
Those numbers are inclusive of all of Orange County. So 60 plus rescues. Again, that number could be higher as we get down to the exact details. The majority of those rescues, did take place. The people themselves were removed from floodwaters. Majority of those were either in Chapel Hill or Carborough. There were a few in other portions of the county, but the vast majority were in Carborough and Chapel Hill in our low-lying flood areas. But the 89 number of people seeking shelter, as well as the number of rescues, will be inclusive of all of Orange County, to include the municipalities.
Thank you.
How are the roads currently? Anything blocked?
We do have a fair number of roads, about 17 currently still have damage or remain closed. Either there's flood damage or there's debris. We're working to compile the entire list of those. We don't have a run-by-run list. I would redirect you to DOT Traffic Incident Management System online to kind of get the latest. We only get reports of what's, when it's impassable. It's really hard for us to keep a log of what has been cleared. So we take the report, we send it to DOT, DOT responds, or the fire department responds, may or may not clear the road. In these situations, especially with trees, some of these could include power lines, so that's another dynamic. The power utility company also has to be involved with the tree removal. So it may not look like, it may not be just a simple tree. It may include power lines. Another kind of key takeaway message for the public: if you see a tree down or see a line down, treat it as a live wire until proven otherwise. Don't cross it. Don't try to engage with it, especially trees that may be entangled in power lines. That line may be live. It may not be. And you will never really know that until an unfortunate incident happens. So.
I'm going to get Dale with News of Orange, and I saw your hand there, Dale.
Thank you. For folks who only now are recognizing or realizing the dangers of their situation, how do they need to reach out to folks for help? What can they do now?
Yeah, it's a great question, Dale. So anybody who's in emergent need of emergency assistance, we would encourage them to dial 911 if they're displaced. If they need transportation assistance to get to a shelter location, that number is 919-245-2004. We hope within the next hour or two this afternoon, we will have a public information line activated where residents can call and get general information or ask questions. We are still in between response and kind of recovery right now. We are still doing damage assessments. We're still providing support to isolated residents and communication with them and identifying those neighborhoods. But if anyone is in need of assistance or finds themselves, wanting to, maybe they didn't evacuate last night, but they want to evacuate or they need assistance now, we would urge them to just use 911. That's the fastest and easiest method to get some help, especially if it's an emergency. If they just need help getting to a shelter, they can call that public transportation line. Again, I'll echo it: 919-245-2004.
Cool.
Any other questions from our media partners?
So you said that roads that are impassable, but not necessarily cleared or partly obstructed. As somebody put a note in the chat, do you have a list of roads that are impassable, or should we go to DOT for that too?
DOT would be the most accurate. I can give you what we have as of about 10:18 this morning from DOT, but I don't have the exact, numbers, the addresses. But McCulloch Road, Jones Ferry, Hester Road, Lake Orange, which I already mentioned, Nix Road, I believe that was a question I saw in the chat about one that was washed away from Amy. I believe that's probably Nix Road that we saw photos of. Ben Wilson and Wilkerson Road. Those DOT are reporting to us, our local DOT, that those will be closed for multiple days or weeks. Again, I don't have the address points. Jones Ferry is a very large, long road. They did not provide me the exact address points. So DOT TIMS would be the best, most accurate information to get from DOT. They did report to us that they have opened Mebane Oaks Road, and they're planning on opening old NC 10. There's some trees along that route they've got to clear, but they should have that open this afternoon.
Was that Ben Wilson Road one of those lists?
Ben Wilson Road, correct.
Thank you.
And I'll put these in the chat for you.
Oh,
Thank you. Let's go to Brighton. Brighton McConnell, unmute yourself if you're trying to talk, Brighton.
Yep, I see Brighton's comment in the chat. How long, I'll just read here, how long, any idea how long any shelter sites, Seymour and Smith, might stay open? So we are working to transition Seymour over to Smith now. That Smith Center is open beginning at noon. It will be open night, 24 hours from here out. I don't have an anticipated time frame, but usually that's about 3 days. It's just a place for people to get, safe refuge if they've been displaced, and work with DSS social workers and caseworkers and disaster survivor assistance, nonprofits as well, to get them started on the path to recovery. So I don't have a definitive time frame on how long those shelters will be open, although I'll generally say we keep them open as long as necessary.
I see one more in the chat, Kirby, from Colin Campbell. Do you have any details on when normal water service will resume in the Hillsborough area, given the bull water advisory?
Yeah, I can't speak on behalf of the town of Hillsborough. I'm not sure we have any representatives here from Hillsborough. But we did do our partner briefing a little while ago, and we were told by the town at that time to expect Thursday. Bull water advisory in place till probably around Thursday. So on the emergency management end, we are leaning forward to prepare to our distribution of bottled water should it be necessary, but we're leaning forward to work that this afternoon. Don't have any specific dates, details, locations yet, but we are activating our distribution processes and plans to distribute bottled water, if that is going to hold true.
We got time for a few more, if there are any.
you said you were going to, if I followed you, transition from Shelby to Smith. Is that move the people in Shelby over to Smith?
Seymour Center, Senior
that's
Center
it.
is in Chapel Hill, was our reception site overnight. There were 3 individuals overnight. They left this morning. We had a few others that showed up this morning. And so we're working to transition those individuals over to the larger mass care shelter site at Smith Middle School.
Gotcha. Thank you.
It's more of a consolidation than a transfer, but it is transferring people. I'll just add in again, readyorange.org is our website that we're transitioning to put as much real-time information as we can. That will
Cool.
include shelter sites, any distributions that we set up, any information lines, numbers, addresses, as well as reporting information as far as damage assessments. Again, I just want to touch base. We have no confirmed fatalities. We do have, as of this morning, we had 5 reported injuries related to the storm, none critical that we're aware of, but 5 injuries, no fatalities right now. We have 1 confirmed missing person related to the storm. And we're fortunate, we feel blessed for that, that we don't have more. I have any other questions?
All right. Thank you, Kirby. It's a good place to end there. I do want to say that we're continuing to assess the situation. And right now, we don't plan to have another media briefing today, Should something arise that necessitates that, we definitely will. Otherwise, we'll get information out to you all throughout the day, and quickly and in a concise manner as possible. Again, thanks to our media partners, we do understand your importance of getting information out to our residents. So we'll talk to you all later. Thank you.
Thank you.